Well, before I can take this wall out, this framing out, I'm gonna have to shore this garage up. So the kid's taking out this drywall here. He just cut it. This way I can put my beam against the rafters up there. I'm gonna try to jack this corner up because it looks like it dropped a little bit. See what happens. I'm gonna finish making my beam up. I got two 12-foot 2x8s. And I just staggered it to 16 foot. Now I just gotta put my two pieces in. And we'll get this beam installed. All right, so we got the beam in. I just put two little brackets up there just to hold the beam while we get ready to put the jacks in. This way we don't have to stand there like idiots. You know, just put two brackets in just to hold it. Now I can put the jacks in and get ready to jack it up a little bit. All right, so we got our jacks set up. This one's probably just gonna stay. It may have to go up a little bit. But this one has its own little handle. The other one need a wrench for. That one's gotta go way up. Let's see. I can't use my bricklaying level because you can't really see it. But at least this one you can see. So yeah, we gotta go up. Let's see here. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch. Give it a shot, Ryan. Try to set this up. I'm too close, of course. Yeah, now it looks like they're touching. All right, stay there. This one's not touching. It's got a gap. The rest of them look like they're touching. Nice. So I got the kid out there unscrewing the plywood. So my plan is these two bottom sheets, see the seam here? So the two bottom sheets, we're gonna lift them up, I don't know, maybe a foot off. This way I have room from the outside to work under there. I can hack all that nasty wood out of there, all the rotten wood on the bottom. And I'll just build some little containment here so the animals and all can't get in, because I'm not ready to take this out yet. I gotta figure out what I'm doing down there because they framed under the concrete. I gotta get all that out of there. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna pour the concrete first and then frame, if I'm gonna frame, then pour the concrete to the framing. I'm not sure yet. I gotta figure out how we're gonna do this. But I gotta get all that wood out of there. I mean, you see the cinder block foundation? They framed onto the cinder block foundation. Then they poured concrete. I mean, I never seen nothing like it. But I guess it's a first time for everything. So here's what I'm talking about. Now we got the sheets jacked up. So now I can take a Sawzall and I can cut the studs here. I can cut the studs here. Then I'm gonna have to build some little enclosure in there to keep all the animals out until I get this all done. But I might just cut it with the Sawzall here so I can use this to pull out and try to get it out from the concrete and then get the pieces down there out, the plates that are all rotten. But I mean, look at this. See the cinder block? Oh man, I've never seen nothing like this in my life. Yet it lasted, what, 53 years? House was built in 69. But you see how the wood's rotten? So once that wood rots away, these studs are sitting on nothing. So they could actually drop that 3 inches. I mean, technically right now the building's going like this. The building's coming down that way. So because of that, these studs are probably twisting in the concrete and that would hold them, but I mean, come on. We already see the concrete crack there. I saw another crack over here, a little hairline. There's a hairline there. So here's the problem. If I just take all this out and just try to put my plate on the floor and build the wall, look at the condition of the concrete. See how it's all high and jagged? And right there is even higher. It's not gonna work. So I probably either got to get this out of the way and use a grinder and try to flatten this out, or I got to come in here and cut it. And then my new concrete curb I pour out here will have to go in, and that means my plate will be sitting on that curb. So I can't stop here. I'd have to go in, because I'm going to use 2x6. These are 2x4s. So I'm going to have to at least go in like 5 or 6 inches, something like that. Because you don't want your plate right on the edge of a joint of concrete, because that's what that's going to be there. I mean, this is a mess. But I'll figure it out. Figure it out eventually. Crazy. All the studs that are in the concrete are not rotten. But since the plates were underwater for all these years, they rotted away. It's like a misconception online that people think, oh, you can't pour concrete on wood. Let's say you got one of these posts here, right? You're going to put a 4x4 post in the ground. Here's what the problem is. People will dig the hole 3 foot. They dig the hole 3 foot, they'll stick the post, and then they pour concrete around it. Well, if you got it, usually you got to dig 36 inches, okay? So I would do a little extra. I would do 40 inches. So you stick your lost my train of thought here. You stick your post in there, you start pouring concrete, lift the post up 4 inches. That's usually the problem. I mean, if you got your post sitting in the dirt and the concrete's up higher, it's not the concrete that rots the post. It's the fact that the post is touching the dirt where the water is going to get to it. And also the top. You have to finish the top. However much concrete you got around, you got to finish it and kind of slope it away. You don't want water laying up against it that can run down between the post and the concrete. I'm telling you now, I've been on jobs, where wood is in concrete, especially this house. I ran into it all over this house. And none of the wood's rotten. The only spots where it's rotten is where water was able to lay. There's no water laying in that concrete. So this is what we came up with. Now I got a small area here that I can work in. I guess tomorrow I can cut these with the Sawzall, get all this rotten wood out of here, and then figure out what I'm going to do. Either I got to grind this concrete flat so I can get my plate in there, my 2x6 plate. But I mean, that's a lot of grinding. Or I'm going to use the skill saw and I'm going to cut it in here all the way down. So when I pour my curb here, my curb will go in, and I got to make sure it sits on that foundation block wall. It looks like they got 4-inch caps on top. I may remove them. I got to see the condition they're in. If I remove them, then I'm going to see how deep the foundation wall goes. There's no basement under it, and then I'm going to fill it in solid with concrete. Show you the inside. So we got it all sealed off, so when I'm cutting, no dust comes in the house. I had these forms I used on the side, so we just used them. We leaned them in, and this is a concrete heating blanket. Use it to stuff down in there, just to keep all the fungus from coming in the house, the dust, bugs. So I guess I'll do another video tomorrow, show you where we're at. Hopefully I can get this fungus wood out of there.